By the time we reach the age of 2, we begin to want to control our lives and our environment. And this continues well into adulthood. But we never really feel like we're in control. Usually it's quite the opposite. For most of us, life feels like being on a bucking bronco and we're holding on for dear life. There are so many things in our lives that are outside of our control. The weather, the economy, other people, even our own bodies. And seeing all these things happen outside of our control makes us want control even more. But wanting control is not the same as having it. When you are wanting control, what you're really saying is, I'm not in control, or I am out of control. When you are wanting control, often you are focused on something that you can't control, rather than something that you can. And this is a disempowered way to live. When you're wanting to control something that you have no control over, you are the victim. You are a passenger on a runaway train, and it's a waste of energy that you could otherwise use to focus instead on things that you do have control over. The solution to this dilemma is to let go of wanting control. Now you might be saying, how can I get control if I let go of wanting it? And to that, I would tell you that wanting is not the same as having. We don't want things that we already have. We only want things that we don't have. When you let go of wanting control, you stop focusing on things that you have no control over. You stop affirming that you are out of control or that you don't have control over and over again. When you do this, your attention is now free to focus on what you do have control over, what you can do to make positive changes in your life right now. And this is a much more empowered way to live your life. But you don't have to take my word for it. In this video, I'm going to share with you a simple process you can use to let go of wanting control. As you let go of wanting control, you will feel more empowered. You will feel like you are in the driver's seat rather than being dragged behind the bus. For this process, there's only two things you need to do: welcoming and letting go. These two interactions are the opposite of what we normally do. What we normally do when we feel out of control or like we don't have control is try to push them away or cover them up or get rid of them in some way or another. And this only reinforces and strengthens the feeling, making you feel more and more disempowered, more out of control. But if you welcome or allow these feelings instead, they will release all on their own, and you will feel more empowered, more like you are in the driver's seat, more like you are in charge of your own destiny. Similarly, we also tend to hold on to these feelings of wanting control. It may seem like these feelings are holding on to you, like that out of control feeling is somehow stuck to you. But in reality, it is you who is holding on to the feeling. If you would decide instead to let it go, it will release and you will be free from it. So as we do this exercise, just follow along and do the best you can. You really can't do this the wrong way. And also just do it just for now. You can always go back to wanting control later. if you'd like. But I think once you feel the power of letting go, you won't go back. So let's begin. Allow yourself to focus inside and think of some situation in your life that you've been wanting to change, where you've been wanting control. And just take the first thought or feeling that comes to mind. And could you welcome whatever pictures, sensations, or sounds that brings up in awareness? Could you let that be here as best you can? And then, just for now, could you let go of wanting control? Could you let go of wanting to change that as best you can? Let's do that again. Allow yourself to think of some situation in your life that you've been wanting to change, or where you've been wanting control. And just take the first thought or feeling that comes to mind. And could you welcome whatever pictures, sensations, or sounds that brings up in awareness? Could you allow that to be here as best you can? And then, just for now, could you let go of wanting control as best you can? Could you just drop it? Or could you open inside and let it dissolve, or let it flow out as best you can? And then allow yourself to think of that situation or some other situation in your life that you've been wanting to change or wanting to control. And just take the first thought or feeling that comes to mind. And could you welcome whatever pictures, sensations, or sounds that brings up in awareness? Just let that be here as best you can. And then, just for now, could you let go of wanting control? Could you let go of wanting to change that as best you can? Could you just drop it? Or could you open inside and let it dissolve or let it flow out as best you can? Now, after this short exercise, take a moment and check how you feel. Do you feel more empowered? Do you feel more calm and relaxed? Do you feel more collected? Just take a moment and notice how you feel. And so, just to review this process, whenever you catch yourself wanting control, just notice that and allow it to be here. Just welcome it as best you can. And then just decide to let go of wanting control. Remember that wanting control is not the same as having it. When you're wanting control, you are saying that you don't have control, or you're focusing on something that you don't have control over. And so when you let that go, when you let go of wanting control, you're able to focus instead on what you can control, what you can do to make a positive change in your life right now. So thank you for watching and thank you for doing this exercise with me. I hope you take it into your daily life. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Goodbye.